Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is going to be a new try to get ready with me. I don't have a ton of new products to try, but I have one very special palette that I'm going to be trying out in today's video, so I really wanted to sit down and film with it, and that is the new upcoming palette with Singe Beauty. This is Agate Temptation. I'm so excited to try this. We got this on the recent Creators and Friends trip. I just got back last night from Destin, Florida, so this is the palette that I'm going to be using it today. Super excited about this, so let me get you zoomed in and we will get started. Okay, welcome to me and my chapped lips. I don't know why my lips are so chapped right now. But I am super excited to play with that eyeshadow palette. Like I said, I don't have a ton of other new launches to try out right now. I'm just gonna start with my sunscreen. I used this in my last Get Ready With Me as well. This is from Kiehls, their Better Screen UV Serum Sunscreen. I'm gonna go on a walk after I finish filming this video. And I've been really liking the sunscreen. I feel like it makes the skin look so hydrated and pretty, and it blends in so quickly. So I'm a big fan of this one from Kiehls. And I am going to be doing another Get Ready With Me talking about the Creators and Friends trip. If you are not familiar with it, I started essentially an event planning company with my partner Simbri several years ago, and we host parties and trips specifically for content creators. So going to Destin, Florida was actually our 4th trip. We've done Charleston was in 2023. Then we also did New Orleans and Palm Springs in 2024. And then our first trip in 2025 was down to Destin, Florida. So we had 23 content creators all at this really beautiful vacation home. I will have a vlog coming of the trip as well, but I'm gonna do a separate Get Ready With Me talking about that trip because we did receive some really cool products there, including this palette, but I actually shipped a lot of them back to me, so I don't have the box yet with a lot of those products. Like, I went to sit down to film this morning and I was like, wait a second, I don't have any of those products. So I put a lot of those to come back in a shipping box, so I'm gonna get that at like the end of the week. So next week's Get Ready With Me will be about the Creators and Friends trip, but like I said, 23 content creators, one house, 5 days. It was kind of a crazy time. There's already a few vlogs that have gotten up. I just watched Linda or Glitter Fallouts this morning. I believe Betty Jean has her vlog up as well. So I'm super excited to see all of the vlogs coming in from the trip because it was really such a special time. But if you do have any questions about Creators and Friends, running the business, how it works, anything like that, you can drop them in the comments here. So then when I do film the next one, I can answer some of those if you have any questions on that. But I did put the new palette from Singe in my carry-on bag. So I didn't want it to get, like, I didn't want to ship it. I didn't want it to get, you know, broken or anything like that in my checked bag. So I have this with me. I had this on my person going through the airport. So I thought it would be fun to use for today's video. And instead I thought I could talk about my Miami trip that I just went on. So I was gone for 10 days. I was gone for 10 days. It feels nice to be back home. I'm gonna use the Colourpop foundation stick. My last video that I posted was my April favorites. And I do mention the Colourpop foundation balm, and I wore this quite a bit on both of my trips that I just took to Florida. So I went to Miami, Florida for a weekend with some of my community. So it's always so fun for me to host these trips. So me and my girlfriend, Anielka Nikves, she's the owner of Singe Beauty. We started putting these weekend trips together. I think I did my first one in 23 in Vegas on my own. And then we teamed up together to do Austin in 2023. Did we do Maine in 2024? I feel like I'm taking a lot of trips, so I feel like I'm gonna start mixing them up and mixing up dates. But our last one that we did was Maine, Portland, Maine. That was so fun. We did that in September of last year. And then we decided to do another one as well, and we went to Miami for a weekend. And that was really so much fun. I know for me, I thought it was a good idea to put 2 trips back to back because I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, Angie and I had talked about wanting to do Miami for a while, and we also had some of the girls who had been on past trips express interest in Miami as well. So it seemed like that was going to be where our next one was. But when we were looking at the calendar, literally last year, we brought up Miami when we were on that Maine trip in September. So we brought it up, we brought up the dates, you know, talked to people there because it did fall over Easter weekend. So we weren't sure if people would still want to come, if it was over a holiday weekend and that sort of thing. So we brought it up around September, and I think we announced it back in like October, maybe November, I can't remember, but it was a while ago, right? And at the time, it seemed like a good idea to have it be back to back with the Creators and Friends trip because we were both going. I obviously am the owner of the company, and Angie was going as an attendee. And so it just seemed like the right thing to do to like put them back to back. It makes sense. We're already in Florida. For me, it's not the easiest to travel to and from Vegas to Florida. The flights are not easy, long travel days, you know, quite a 3-hour time change, you know, different things like that. So for me, it's a little bit more difficult. So I thought, good idea. And then as it got closer, I was like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you actually thinking? I know that this is only my 4th time that I've put together a full-length retreat for Creators and Friends, but there is so much planning and prep that goes into it that I was quite stressed about it. I don't know if I was at the absolute top of my game on the weekend, so because I was still working. I left at midnight. I think the garbage truck is outside, so it's very rude. Do you not know who I am? Come on. I blended out my concealer. The garbage truck is still here, so I guess we'll move on to brows and do a little. Okay, brows are done. I used the Lawless Brow pencil. We will try to keep going. I think the garbage truck is still here, but you know, got things to do today, mostly unpacking and doing my laundry because I was gone for 10 days. But I think I was talking about my travel because I left on midnight on a Thursday night. So I took the red eye because that's one of the best ways to go to East Coast time zone is doing the red eye out of here. So I left at midnight. I got to Chicago at 5 a.m. Central Time. And then I had a 3.5-hour layover there. And I was so tired. I could not sleep on the plane. I was so sad. I don't sleep well on planes, but I could not sleep on the plane, so that was a big bummer. And I got to Chicago O'Hare and just was like feeling not great. Sat there for 3.5 hours, had 3 bowls of Frosted Flakes. I'm not really sure what that was about. I don't even know if I can tell you the last time I had cereal, but I was in the lounge and it was like, here's scrambled eggs and toast and bagels. And I was like, Frosted Flakes? What am I, a child? I had my 3 bowls of Frosted Flakes, tried to work a little bit, and then I actually got into Miami at like 1 p.m. And by the time I got to the hotel, it was about 2:30, and I had a 3 o'clock meeting for Creators and Friends. We had a meeting with a brand. And so I was like, hadn't eaten in I don't know how long, but it was all good. And then our first event started at 5:30. So I was definitely not my most well self, I would say, but I think that I rallied. I think I did pretty good at rallying. So what we do for our community events is we kind of have the same itinerary or like the same flow each time. We start off with a welcome reception. So we were staying at the Moxie South Beach, Miami, and they have a really fun like rooftop bar with some pools on there. And so that's where we had the welcome reception. We give everyone who comes a goodie bag. And this goodie bag was pretty exciting. We had a new palette in there from Gourmand Girls. We had some products in there from Singe Beauty, from my brand by Samantha March, and then just some other makeup and skincare products that we put in for everybody. So while I was on my call, Angie was putting together the goodie bags with the stuff that we both brought. And then we give those to everybody and let everyone meet each other. It was a really cool view, so a lot of people were taking fun pictures, and then we go out to dinner. So we had a Cuban restaurant for our first dinner on Friday, and that was really, really good. They sat us outside, and it was so fun. And then afterwards, we went to kind of like, I don't know if I would necessarily call it a club, but like it was kind of like more than a lounge bar, but not like a full nightclub, and it was all outside. It was called the Clevelander, and we had a table, and we just got some drinks and danced, and I think the DJ really loved us, so that was a lot of fun. And then the next day we had brunch. We had a super cute brunch in the Wynwood area, and then we always do an activity as well. So how our community events work is people do buy tickets for them, but the tickets are for like your food and your activities and that sort of thing. So it includes, you know, the welcome reception with drinks, you know, obviously like the goodie bags are a part of it, but then we do 2 dinners, a brunch, and an activity. So that's what the money is going towards. Stop like going to hang out with me and Angie. We're not that cool. No, really, we're like not that cool. Speaking of what is cool is I'm gonna use this blush from Singe Beauty. This one is in Timid Tomato, so I thought it'd be fun to use this one since I'm using the new palette today. But our activity that we decided on for this one was a pole dancing class. I was like, okay, when Angie first pitched me the idea, I was like, well, that sounds hard. am I gonna be able to pull that one off? I was like, all right. So like for Vegas, we did a show. For Austin, we did a drag brunch. We also went to Barton Springs. So that was really fun. For Portland, we did a cruise to like a little like island out there. And so for Miami, we decided pole dancing class. And let me tell you, that was so hard. I knew it was gonna be hard, but my abs, my arms, like everything was on fire for the next like 4 days. When I would laugh, my abs would hurt so bad. I would like try to pick something up and my arms would hurt. Angie was saying how badly her legs hurt. That is such a skill that I'm not the most coordinated of human beings. I like to pretend I am, and I can listen. The thing with social media is you can edit, right? Like I can edit clips together to make me look cooler than I am, but put it all together, see the whole thing, not that cool. Not that cool. But it was so fun. And honestly, some people might feel some type of way about like a pole dancing class. One, it is a workout. Straight up, that's a workout. But also, someone was telling me that they felt like pole dancing should be an Olympic sport, and I was like, no, seriously. No, seriously, because that's hard. But it also was just such like a fun like bonding class. It might sound strange to some people, but it really was. It was an hour of us like laughing, sweating, spinning, twerking, like just, you know, trying our best. And it was really so much fun. Every single person there, I mean, maybe they're lying to me, but every person said how much fun they had. So I was like, oh my gosh, great. So that was a really good time. I don't think I will be leaving my career to be a pole dancer anytime soon, and I definitely would be laughed at if I tried to enter the Olympics. But like our teacher, I was like, she, you know, did her thing at one point, and we were all just like, the skill, man, it just blows my mind, truly. We had dinner that night, and then we went to like a rooftop lounge, and we had dinner at a really nice place. It was like a steak and seafood restaurant. What we try to do is we try to have one dinner that's like a little bit more casual, and then one dinner that's like a little bit more fancy. Just try to like check different boxes of the different places that we go to. So that was a lot of fun. That was like kind of our nicer dinner. One of the girls, it was her birthday that day, and the restaurant was really sweet. They brought out like some dessert, and they brought her like a glass of champagne. So that was super cute. So we love if there's anything that we can celebrate on the trips besides just our community and, you know, coming together, spending a weekend together and that sort of thing. But we love to just be able to celebrate. I cannot get this sticker off to save my, so close. I just got my nails redone yesterday because 2 of them broke. And Dustin, oh my God, why? Okay, got it off. So my setting powder, this is just a little travel from Morphe. I forgot to use it in the last Get Ready With Me, but ooh, there's a lot of product in here. But this is the powder I'm going to use for my under eyes and my face. I've appreciated these trips so much because I feel like it's really helped me feel more connection with my community. It's very different to be able to meet people face to face. Like, you know, one gal that I got to meet on the trip, her name is Teresa, and like I have seen her name in my comments for so long, right? And I was trying to tell her this on the last day at breakfast, but you know me, like I just keep crying. So like it's not really always conducive to having conversations when one person's just crying the whole time. But I was trying to explain to her that like I was so excited to meet her. And maybe, you know, I guess for me, I've been the content creator for 10 years, so it's really hard for me to speak on behalf of a viewer. But from when I have conversations with people, they kind of say like, oh, I didn't realize that like you noticed my name, or you recognized my name, or you saw me leave comments, or you remembered our DMs and things like that, which I totally, you know, I totally understand that. But you are not invisible. You are not invisible. And especially when we see people leave comments on every single video, when they have been, you know, someone who has been around for years and seen you through different parts of life and grown up with you and gone through hard things with you, it means so much to be able to hug that person, to say thank you, you know, thanks for your nice comments, thanks for your support, thanks for sticking by me even when I wasn't posting as much or was sad or was going through hard times. Because for me as a content creator, I think sometimes, you know, we talk about like parasocial relationships and all of those things, but sometimes I feel parasocial. Like sometimes I feel like I get worried if I don't see a subscriber's name after a while and I think like, oh darn, they must not like me anymore. You know, like sometimes as a content creator, it feels like you lose friendships time and time and time and time and time again. You know, I think one thing that hurts the worst is when you have a longtime subscriber publicly comment or even privately DM you to say like, I don't like you anymore. You know, that really happens. That really happens. People DM, people leave public comments, and I'm like, oh wow, like this is a name that I remember. This is a name that I've seen since my Red Wall days. This is a name that I've seen since announcing my divorce, and now they don't like me anymore. And it hurts your feelings, obviously. Like maybe that sounds dumb, but I think when anyone, if anyone were to tell me they don't like me anymore, it sucks, right? But I think sometimes those messages can be so loud because, especially for me, someone who is a little bit more open and vulnerable with their online community, it hurts because people will tell me really personal things about me that's like why they don't like me. And it's like, ooh, that sucks. You know, it's not just like, I don't know, I do a totally different makeup style than you, so I've decided I don't want to watch your videos. It's like really mean things that people will tell you. And it hurts. And it hurts because maybe it's weird for me to think of people in my online community as my friends, but I do. So all of that to say is when I do get to meet people, whether it's on, you know, trips like this, whether it's you stop me at Sephora or on the Vegas Strip or at the airport, I seem to always meet people at the airport, but if you stop me anywhere, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to be able to say hi to you, to be able to say thank you to you. So I think for me, doing those community trips, that's something that means the most to me. And to have people like trust me with their time is a really big deal. To trust me with their, you know, because it's not necessarily a new thing. You know I've done these community trips a little bit. I've also done trips with like Trova trip, and I've done Italy and Greece. This year I have Bali. But I remember talking to people, even one of the attendees on this Miami trip, they were telling me how they did a Trova trip with another YouTuber last year, someone not in the beauty space. And I was like, yeah, sometimes I feel like the beauty community and those of us who have started doing like trips are kind of getting like pushback from it. But these have been happening in the space for such a long time. Actually, in 2020, I had signed up to do a weekend retreat with a fitness influencer. It was a weekend trip to do like yoga and other, you know, healthy hot girl things or whatever we call it these days. And I was so excited about it. It got canceled because of COVID, but like I was so excited. I bought a ticket. I bought my plane tickets. I was like, yeah, I bet. Like I want to spend a weekend around like-minded people. I want to spend a weekend around people who care about fitness and health and what they're putting into their body and how they're exercising and moving. Like that sounds like so much fun for me. I was super disappointed that it had to get canceled, you know, of course, because everything got canceled, but like I was super disappointed in that. But these trips and ways to bring community together aren't necessary. Like it's not brand new. I'm not the first creator to do it or anything along those lines, but it really means a lot that people trust me. They trust me to put an itinerary together. They trust me to book restaurants. They trust me to, you know, be able to lead them place to place. You know, I was talking on the trip that like, I have a lot of anxiety when I do them because I just want everything to go right. And I'm the one that's like I'm always like watching the time. I'm always like, okay, now we got to go to this next place. And I'm always counting everybody. And if someone leaves, I'm always like, I'm checking the group chat. Like, okay, did you make it back to the hotel? Like I put a lot on my shoulders when I do these trips because I want everyone to have fun. I want everyone to be safe. And I want everyone to feel comfortable at, you know, when they're on these trips with me. So, I feel really grateful that people want to take their time and energy to be able to spend a weekend with me. And I always hope that they have the best time. I hope they come away with friendships. I hope they come away with just good memories that they can hang on to. And we've seen a lot of success with these trips. We've seen people come back for, you know, trips. Like we've had repeat attendees come along. And I think it kind of showed us that like we were, you know, kind of onto something with these, and people really value community. I talked in one of my recent videos when I was talking about low buy trends and if they are, you know, just a trend right now or a lifestyle switch, but I talked about how we lost so much physical connection to people in 2020. And talking about the retreat that I was going on that got canceled. We lost a lot of that. And I think for me, it really showed the value, even as someone who's a shy introvert and who just sits at home and talks to her camera all by herself and gets done and sits here and reads a book all by myself. Like, I understand the value of being with other people, of having those in-person connections. So for me, being able to take on hosting trips like this, putting together events like Creators and Friends, and being able to create these opportunities for other people has brought me so much joy. I love working on them. It's such a highlight for me to be able to do. So yeah, I'm just grateful for everyone who came, and I hope everyone had fun in Miami. I don't feel like this was my best trip because I was so stressed about Creators and Friends. So again, I will not be doing that. That was a learning lesson for me. Do not stack trips. Do not stack trips again. But I hope everyone had a good time. I really had a good time. I think I learned that I'm not a Miami girl. It was kind of a lot. Like, I'm more of like the Portland, Maine girl. That was really fun for me. More like chill. And also Miami was way colder than I thought it was gonna be. I was freezing the entire time. The last day I finally was like, you know what? I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. So Miami was colder than I thought it was going to be, but it was so nice to meet everyone, and the food was really good. I did enjoy the food in Miami. But I am going to spray my face. Got the Morphe setting spray. Sometimes I forget how intense that one is. And this is where we'll move over to the eyeshadow palette. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this palette. I love just all the coloring. Okay, so for me, since the owner of Singe Beauty is one of my best friends, I have seen this palette basically from birth. Like, I was there in the delivery room type situation. Like, I saw it when it was just sketches. I saw it when it was just ideas of what shades were gonna come together. I saw it when it was just like cardboard with like names written on it. Like, I've seen this palette in every form, and I'm gonna try not to cry again, but it was very exciting to see it in its final form, you know? And it was also really exciting because at Creators and Friends Destin, Singe Beauty was actually one of our brand sponsors, and they sponsored a dinner. So at our dinner on Friday night, this is where everyone got the palette, and Angie, you know, gave a little talk about it. And when I was talking to Angie at the dinner, she said to me, she said, isn't it so crazy that we're launching a product for my brand while at your brand? And like, it just was so crazy because, you know, we've been friends for so long. We were friends before we met each other in person. You know, she was living in Sweden, I was living in Iowa. And it was probably like 2016 that we started talking to each other. We met for the first time in, I think, 2018, I want to say. And now we've like traveled the world together. We've launched brands together. We have businesses. Like, it's just, so that was a really like cool and special moment. So I was very excited about that. And also this palette is just, it's just so fun. So this is their second palette. The first one is Galactic Visitor, and this is going to be their second launch. Now, it is not available yet. So Angie has told us that it will be available in May. But she wanted to launch it at Creators and Friends, and you know, we have some time to put some looks together and swatches and all of those things. There is also some uncertainty right now with the economy and tariffs. So I know Angie is, you know, it's not like she's just sitting at home like, I'll wake up one day and decide when I want to launch this palette. You know, there's a lot that's going into it, and a lot of unknowns that still need to be known. So that way she'll know the date. But she does say that she thinks it'll be available in May, and probably early May, which is this video going to go up in May? It might already be May by the time this video goes up. But as soon as I have any information, I will definitely pass it along. Once I know it's coming up, I will pass it along for sure. Singe Beauty is now on YouTube Shopping. So when you see the little products popping up throughout the video, like the blushes are on there, the brushes are on there, the first palette is on there. And so that is a way that you can do some shopping through Singe Beauty as well. But I wore this palette a couple times over the weekend. This Gilded shade is so beautiful. Silica is so beautiful. I really want to play with like this green, the quartz, but I also want to do Fire. I think I have to do Fire. Fire has been the one that like my eyes just Like I'm a very basic, you know, neutral gal. In my April favorites, I mentioned one of my favorite palettes is this YSL. So you know, but I also love green eyeshadow. I love red and orange. I have green eyes, so I think like red and orange look really pretty with green eyes. I love purple, I love mauves. But today we are gonna go in with fire. And I'm a really basic girl over here. So I'm just gonna put my finger into fire. That sounds like a safety hazard, so maybe don't do that. But I'm just gonna add this to the lids. These shadows are so pretty and fun, and I mean, unless they're matte, you know, they're sparkly, and I feel like that sounded like maybe not like a good but that was a good So this one has like the gold flecks in it, and it's just so pretty. I literally just take my finger and do that. But like, how fun, how pretty, how beautiful. Okay, truly though, after spending a week with like so many talented makeup booty gurus or whatever we call ourselves these days, like I would just look around at people and be so in awe that I'm like, oh gosh, me and my one eyeshadow over here cannot stack up to y'all. But isn't this so pretty? I'm super excited about this palette. Like, so simple, so easy to use. I don't even know, like there she is. I feel like I'm supposed to like do something else. Like, do I take a bow? Like, I'm not sure. You're welcome for blessing you with this fire shade. Okay, I'm gonna do some liner. I know people are like, really, one eyeshadow? I have so much anxiety when I do get ready with my videos. But I'm gonna take my Kokie liner, my favorite one. She needs to be sharpened. Okay, taking my Kokie liner. Oh, I feel like I haven't done like a red shadow in so long. So fun with green eyes. So I'm just going to waterline, tight line. But I have been doing a lot of liner recently. Like I've been doing wings and a lot of smudging on the lower lash line. I think I'm actually just gonna keep it like that for my liner. And then I'm going to grab a small brush. Taking my let me tell you, wow, she's been through some things. I'm taking my E02 and I'm gonna take Volcanic and Metamorphic, these two mattes right here, and I'm going to add these to the lower lash line. So pretty. Okay. Okay, I think that is so fun, so pretty. I'm excited to do several more looks with this palette, of course. Like I said, the greens, this translucent shade, I'm super curious to get that all over my lid. I love some of these matte looks. I'm a little bit more into like the shimmers right now. That's kind of what I'm going for, but I also love me a matte look. And these like grungy browns just speak to me. Like, so fun. I really, really love this color scheme. I think that it's so pretty. I love all of the different names in here. We have geode, quartz, crystallized. This like a neon shade. I think this is gonna be so fun. Like I'm envisioning like a really hot day and I'm in like my neon green swimsuit and then I just have this all over my eyes. Be so pretty. But the palette will be coming soon. Any updates that I get on the date, I will be sure to pass along. But I'm so excited. I really wanted to share that palette. And then I'm just going to finish off my eyes using the YSL Lash Clash. This is their brown mascara. I used this in my last Get Ready With Me, and I mentioned in my April favorites that I was kind of like eating my words on not thinking that I would love brown mascara, but I really have been liking it, and the Lash Clash is a mascara that I've liked for a really long time. I decided to also grab the brown. I have no fun plans today besides catching up on life after being gone for so long. I already have laundry in, I unpacked. I'm gonna go get a salad for lunch. I'm really excited. This place in Vegas that is known for their lobster rolls now have salads. And when I tell you that they're $4.99, I was like, huh? I was watching people put up videos of it. First, their lobster rolls are like $9.99, which is wild. And now they have salads for $4.99. I said, in this economy, I'm just gonna go there every day and either get a salad or a lobster roll. That's it. It's called Angie's Lobster. It's on Blue Diamond. Hashtag sponsored. I mean, not sponsored. I mean, Angie's Lobster, sponsor me. Because it sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And I am filming this on a Tuesday. I leave again on Saturday. So I'm like, what do I even buy for groceries? What's just a few quick meals I can have at home so I'm not like wasting groceries? That's just like the worst feeling. Let's say it again together. In this economy, to waste groceries, like to have to like throw away an avocado, I'm like, no, my stomach just growled. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing for groceries, but I'm so excited because this weekend I actually am going back and I get to see my family. I'm going back to the Midwest, Chicago for a wedding, and then zooming over to Iowa. My little brother and his wife are due next month with their first baby. So I really wanted to make it a priority to see them before the baby was here, just to see I cry every single time I say this, but to see my brother one more time before he's a father because that'll be the rest of his life. So one more time before the baby's here to see my brother and be like, oh my gosh. And then after next month, we will have a new baby in the family. So exciting. But that means I have a lot to do this week. I have a lot to film this week. If there's any topics that you want me to discuss, anything you want to chat about, makeup or beyond, definitely let me know. Again, like I said, if you have any questions about creators and friends and how that runs, of course, let me know. Happy to answer them in my next Get Ready With Me. I did want to say too that Angie and I were bummed that we couldn't film the Get Ready With Us, I guess, together talking about the Miami trip. Usually we try to do that. But again, just with the way the scheduling worked, like we didn't have time to sit down and film on Friday before, especially because like she was doing goodie bags, I was doing my meeting, and then it was like we had an hour to get ready and we had to go. And then again, like while we're there on the weekend, it's just a little bit hard to be able to do. And then like we took a train up to Orlando. We can't really film on a train, and then we didn't get there till night. And then the next day we had to get up early and we had to drive right away, and then we drove 6 hours. So again, we're getting to our next destination at 6 p.m. So we just didn't have time to be able to sit down and film together. So I was bummed about that, but that's okay because I'm sure I'll see her again soon. And like I said, I have my Miami vlog up. I know she'll have a vlog coming up too. I'll have the Creators and Friends vlog coming up. She'll have one as well. So you'll see some vlogs with us coming for sure. I'm just gonna finish off with my lips. So what lip? Oh, I want to use the Strawberry Shortcake from Lawless. I did a short form video with this one. I think the last one was my Makeup by Mario that I did in my last video, but I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut Lip Liner. She also needs to be sharpened. Okay, there is Forever Walnut. And then Strawberry Shortcake is one of the new glosses from the Strawberry collection that Lawless came out with. I love these glosses. I think they're so pretty. I thought this shade was so cute. I don't know if it's necessarily going to go amazing with this eye look, but like, it's fine because it's like a very light pink. But it's okay. We're going to rock with it. So cute. So fun. I feel like people will be asking if Angie and I are hosting another trip. We've talked about some dates and some locations. We don't have anything set in stone. She's traveling a lot the next couple of months. I'm also traveling a lot the next couple months. I also am hosting, like I said, my next big group trip is in Bali. So August 3rd through 9th, I'm going to Bali, which I'm so excited for. So that trip, it is almost sold out. I think we only have 4 spots left on that trip. So if you are interested, I always have a link in the description box, but we're going to Bali August 3rd through 9th, and Angie will be with me on that trip as well. So if you're interested in coming along and seeing a whole new country, my girlfriend is actually hosting a trip right now in Bali, and all of her photos have looked beyond incredible, and it just has made me so excited to go myself. So super excited about that. But I will have that linked in my description box if you want to come along. But if we are able to plan something even for the end of the year or something like that, you know, we'll definitely pass along any of that information as we get dates and times together. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for this vlog using the new Singe Beauty palette. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. I am going to link if you're interested in seeing what our Miami trip looked like. Like I said, I have the vlog, so I have that linked on the little end screen that pops up here if you want to check out what our weekend looked like. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.